Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Octavian. I'm just out of the shower, and I'm here to teach you all about the newly patched memory map. It's going to be a good time. Thanks for joining me. Let's get started. So the first strategy that I want to demonstrate here, sorry for that bumping noise, I don't know if I can pick it up by the mic. First strategy I want to demonstrate here is something you can do now that the pieces are movable. The system is so much more forgiving than it was when it was initially implemented. For anyone who hasn't played with it at all in the last couple days since the patch, let me show you what I mean. So before, if I were to place a piece like this before the patch, that is now cemented. That is done. I can't move it. I can delete it if I want to, but it's cemented in place. Well, that is not the case anymore. I can, from anywhere in the memory map, click this little hovering icon here that shows up when I left click it. Don't right click it, because then it's going to want you to delete it. I've done that a few times by accident. Left click it, put it back in your box. And, you know, you get to pick up and put down your Lego pieces all you want. You get to play with them. You don't have to tear them into shreds anymore if you place them in the wrong spot. It's wonderful. But the other thing that you can do, which does have its uses, is you can place it, and let me get that properly placed again, and I can go to this other stabilizer and see how it's highlighted in green. First off, it highlights under in green any piece that's applicable to this spot. Pardon. And second, I can grab this and just move it directly here, which not only is convenient because it saves me the step putting it in my inventory and then moving it, but also allows me to maintain memory modifier effects on it. Whereas if I were to click this and put it back in my box, it would lose any memory modifier effects that it has. So that means that I could go collect some memory modifiers, which those work fairly differently now. I'll go into that in a little bit. And then take those pieces that I had modified and move them to somewhere else, or maybe I can collect some more memory modifiers if I want to, or, you know, put them onto an amplifier, which are very powerful and very potent now with things like 20 pack size and 40 pack size and effects like that. And get some very powerful synergy set up as a result. But the first really basic strategy that I wanted to show you is something that I've coined leapfrogging, and I've been doing it a bunch in order to reach some of these much more rewarding, rewards that are floating out in the void. And it's born of the fact that you can place and pick up these pieces at will. So I'm going to go ahead and just demonstrate here. This build is my league starter, by the way. I don't have a video out on it or anything, as I've not been too active on YouTube recently. Something that I'm very familiar with, I suppose. But it's a Stormburst Inquisitor, pretty simple build, not really too much complicated going on here. I actually think if I had from the start planned on going Stormburst, I probably would have gone Trickster, but there's a whole backstory behind that. I wanted to play a Discharge Totem build, and I wanted to go Hierophant in order to play the Discharge Totem build, so I was stuck as a Templar when it turned out that Discharge Totems had been deleted from the game. Yeah, you heard that right. You just can't do them anymore. You can no longer support Discharge at Spell Totem. But in order to get to the point of the video here faster, I will sacrifice some of the value that I could have gained by running this zone, which the zones are just worth running now in and of themselves, generally. This one's not super well rolled, but you can get some with very, very nice rolls. This one's got close to 40 pack size. None of the ones I have are all that crazy, actually, compared to what you can pick up. But so now that I'm here, we're going to go ahead and place this piece here, and we'll get started on that one. But before I move forwards, I don't have to do it right, you know, as I enter, but I just do it so I don't forget. I can pick this one up, put it in here, and now, once I get to the other end of this, I can place it back down again and use it to reach that Lush Wetlands memory that's full of money, hopefully. Or maybe not, I don't know, it's full of random chests. The random chests can drop many, many different things. I've had them drop various currency items, I've had them drop essences, I've had them drop maps, which is kind of nice. I've had them drop fractured gear, which is pretty common. That one seems to drop pretty often. I've actually yet to visit like every type of node since the changes, so there may very well be some really good reward nodes that I'm not super familiar with yet, that are way better post changes, but here we go. We can go ahead and place this now. It will be decaying, so I have to rush to the other side quickly. Hopefully I don't screw this up. That would be unfortunate to do while recording. I'm going to greed and get the Arcanist Strongbox, though. There we go. And we got a T15 return as well, so pretty good value for my time spent, I'd say. Probably could squeeze some more value out of this if I really wanted to be greedy and go after all the rest of the kills, but then I'd be risking not being able to actually stabilize at this endpoint and do the reward that I came out here for, so let's not do that. Let's not be too greedy. We got a T15 and some currency already. I don't really have to be that greedy. We're fine. You know, all of this was free. You know, all of these memory fragments, all of the loot that I get out of the memory nexus doesn't require any additional investment past that put into the maps that I ran in order to generate these memory fragments in the first place. So, and then this is extra free, if you want to think of it that way, because this zone wasn't even a memory fragment that I got. This is just one that we get for free because we pathed over to it. And it does inherit the eye level of the zone that you use to connect to it. So as you can see, this one is going to be eye level 82 because I used a T15 fragment from a T15 map in order to connect to it. Oh, and there's our memory reward right there. This one I can be quite greedy on though, because as you can see from that little announcement in the middle of the screen, it's set my checkpoint here. So if I vanish into the ether of blue forget-me-not, then I'm going to be just teleported straight back to that island. So I can go out and clear the rest of this, which my very greedy Path of Exile loot-infused soul is screaming at me to do with every fiber of my being, so I'm going to do that. Especially considering this is a 40-pack size Beyond zone. So this one should give some pretty good returns, as we've already seen. There's a 16, I think I dropped a 14 back there, tons of fractured stuff. I'm not picking it up because it will all drop at the end. This is a decaying zone, so I don't have to stop to pick it up. I can spend that time instead on rushing down monsters and getting as many kills as I can possibly rack up, and as much loot as I can rack up. And we'll just cut through here. And that should be about it, and we can see what loot waits for me in those boxes. So I can just jump into the blue here, it'll teleport me right back to the reward area. You don't have to get too close to this, just step across it basically, and you'll be considered to be checkpointed to it, if you want to say that. It was a T14, not a 15, but still we got the 16 back. We got a bunch of fractured stuff, and I'm sure we have a lot of loot waiting in these boxes. We'll see exactly what in a moment. The other very nice thing is that with the patch that came up, they did fix the majority of the bugs with portaling back, so you can feel safe and secure in portaling back to your Nexus central here, whatever you want to call it. And you're not going to lose your invested trek, which isn't really much of an invested trek because it only took me 2 pieces to get over here because I could leapfrog my way on over here instead of needing to... oh, oops. Instead of needing to actually invest pieces to reach here. You know, I used, I think, 2 charges on one and 1 charge on the other, which is still placed. Yeah, I can still just pick that back up, use that later. You know, you can get a ridiculous amount of value out of every single memory fragment that you pick up in maps. I do wish that at some point in the future GGG will make this thing a little bit easier to click past, because stabilized chests spawn right behind it. And the portal spawns right on top of it, as you can see. So it's a little difficult to, like, appropriately click things. There's a flawless fractured chest full of some fractured stuff. Hey, there's some maps. Got a few more 15s, I think, and a 13. Towers of 13 now. There's some currency items, so we can grab those. Just some random junk. A few of these boxes are going to be basically empty, but they give you a lot of them, so... And as you can see, the rewards just for running the zones to get here, honestly, if nothing dropped from these boxes, it still probably would have been worth my time. So this is all just gravy. I was about to say on the cake, which is just mixing metaphors. Can I please click the box? Can I please click the box? GGG. I love the patch, GGG. You made this so much more rewarding and worthwhile. This is really fun to run. Please let me click the boxes. Don't make it take as long to click the boxes as to do anything else. But that said, that was really the strategy that I wanted to demonstrate there, was that first very basic one that I sort of has been playing around with today, of just using your pieces as efficiently as you can to go after some of these better reward nodes. The contains chests reward nodes, as you saw, pretty good. They can give you a few maps, they can give you some currency items. Contains currency, obviously good. The prophecy ones are pretty damn good as well. Even the jewelry, armor, and weapon ones are not that bad if they're close by and easy to reach. because those ones will drop 6 sockets really often. They'll drop fusing and jeweler's orbs, and the jewelry ones drop GCPs. I've gotten from those before, or that might be a different box. Actually, the jewelry ones have not been all that rewarding. I did see a post of someone on Reddit who got a headhunter out of one, but I wouldn't really count on that. I'll be working on this and trying to figure out more and much more in-depth strategies to potentially approach this system with, and if I can come up with any, which I have a few that I'm thinking of, so I'm very certain there's more in-depth, I suppose, as I mentioned earlier, ways to approach this system, and if I come up with a few, I will be putting up videos on them. Thank you for watching this one. I hope to see you in the next one, and I hope to see you on the stream sometime. Make sure to stop by.